And welcome aboard, everybody, here to Sports Talk Nation. Time to recap Week 2. And in a week where we had a lot of incredible games and incredible finishes, the incredible finish between Dallas and the LA Chargers, an incredible overtime finish that, if you were watching Red Zone, ended up getting cut off between the Tennessee Titans and the Seattle Seahawks. Incredible finishes between the Raiders and the Steelers. A 3-point game between the Rams and the Colts. There was one game that really kind of stunk among everyone else, and that was, of course, the Jets and the Patriots. Patriots beating the Jets 25-6. And the real big headline of this, of course, being Zach Wilson. A week ago, it was about the offensive line not doing its job in the first half of the game against Carolina. This time, it was all on Zach Wilson. I'm going to have a guest on in just a moment. We're going to talk about it, debate it just a little bit. But let me just get some of my own thoughts here first. The 4 interceptions. Anytime you throw multiple interceptions in a game, obviously, it's inexcusable for that matter. And unfortunately for Zach Wilson, he joins rarefied company, at least in Jets history, with Mark Sanchez and Sam Darnold as being 3 of 4 quarterbacks in the last 15 or so years to have at least 4 interceptions in a game their rookie year. I guess only the Jets, for that matter, when you think about it. And these were all really bad throws. The first one was in triple coverage. The second one, in my mind, it was overthrown. And in the mind of a lot of people, it was overthrown, as seen on social media. I know Corey Davis tried to make it a play on it. He tried to jump up to get the ball, went through his hands. It was overthrown. Ended up being picked off. The other two, trying to airmail the ball a couple of times, and it ends up getting picked off in situations where you didn't need to do that. And the Jets themselves, Robert Saleh going out there in the postgame saying he's got to learn Zach Wilson how to play boring football. And he's absolutely right. Yes, it is. Yes, I understand that Zach Wilson has a talented arm. We all understand that. We all know he can throw the ball around the ballpark. But when you are going to be overly aggressive, you have to, especially in the NFL, you have to expect bad plays to happen. And that's what happened to Zach Wilson. He got a taste of the NFL. Not only that, but he also got it against the master himself in Bill Belichick. So this, from that standpoint, this is kind of what you would probably think could be very possible, and it was the case. So, yes, I understand a lot of Jet fans getting frustrated because they also see at the same time down in Carolina, they see Sam Darnold throwing for 300 yards and 2 touchdowns against the Saints. We need to calm down just a little bit. 2 different situations. The Jets right now are in a full rebuild, full-scale rebuild, and they're hitting it again. And I know we don't like hearing that because you've been seeing the Jets do rebuild after rebuild after rebuild after rebuild. I understand the Jet fan is getting a little bit sick and tired of that, but that's just the case. The Panthers are a team that has good players. They have a really good running back in Christian McCaffrey. They have, of course, Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore, wide receiver. They have a good offensive line. They have a good team around Sam Darnold, and that gives him an opportunity. That's something they didn't give him with the New York Jets. And I know there's some Jet fans, I've spoken to some friends in the last couple of hours since the game came to an end, who were all ready to say, man, the Jets should have given Sam Darnold a little more time. Maybe they should have, and I can honestly understand that. But the fact is, this is where the Jets are right now. They're here with a rookie quarterback again. There's going to be growing pains with a rookie quarterback again. And that is going to be part of the maturation of this quarterback. If we're sitting here, end of the towards December, and Zach Wilson's still making these kind of throws, then we're going to have a discussion point. And I'm going to talk about that with my guest in just a moment here. But it is frustrating, but it's part of, unfortunately, what this process is with the rookie quarterback. And that is what stinks from the Jet fan perspective. So now let's go to our guest. So Dan, go right ahead.
Well, Michael, these are the first 2 games of the NFL career of Zach Wilson. We all know he's a rookie quarterback. And what really bothers me is that even though in the first game, the offensive line was terrible in the first half in Carolina, they allowed Zach Wilson to get sacked 6 times. In this game, where the defense played very well, offensive line improved their coverage of trying to protect Zach Wilson. But Zach Wilson threw 4 interceptions, and all interceptions were in coverage.
Yep.
Not just the first one, not just the second one. Okay, fine. Corey Davis wants to lay claim to it because it went right through his hands. Still, though, it was in coverage. The third one was a throw he shouldn't have done. And then the fourth one, he lollipopped it down the field, and it was just over everyone's head except for the cornerback of the Patriots and Devin McCourty. It's just mind-boggling how Zach Wilson says, well, if I make one mistake, I'm not going to repeat the mistake. Well, you're repeating it 3 more times.
I think Robert Saleh said it best, saying that he's got to learn to play boring football. And he's absolutely right, because there's so many plays that he knows. We all know he has a great arm. He's got to now learn, take the check down, take the lesser play. If it isn't there, throw it away, right? And the first interception is a great example, because he has Elijah Moore right in front of him, and he doesn't throw it to him. It would have been like a 4 or 5 yard gain. That's fine. It would have moved the sticks. Instead, he says, I'm gonna put some air into this ball, and he throws it over his receiver's head, forces him to jump up to try to get it. He can't get it, and it goes into the hands of a Patriot. Those are the kind of plays that cannot happen. Now, I will say this to the Jet fans who are ready to jump ship, ready to jump off the cliff. How many fans want everyone was talking about, let's go get Zach Wilson. He's going to be the most electric player, most dynamic player coming out of this draft. He has the off-platform throws, what have you. Don't jump off now if this is the guy you want. So, let's give this kid some time, obviously, and see what happens. I mean, if we're sitting here in week 16, 17, and he's throwing 4 picks a game still, then we're going to have a little bit of a discussion point. But right now, it was against Bill Belichick's defense. You have to keep that in mind, too. He does a great job of disguising blitzes and coverages for rookies, and it really confuses them. At the same time, he's got to take this tape, and he's better learn from it. He has to learn from it. I think the one thing I would have done, and I know it depends on the player more than anything, I would have considered at least benching him. And look, I understand that sometimes that hurts a player. Steve Young got benched once with the 49ers. Okay, it ended up working out for him. It depends on the player. But I would have at least considered it, because, saying, it's not your day. Sit down, relax. But this is a part of the thing of not having a veteran quarterback around.
You and I would probably agree that they should have gotten themselves a veteran quarterback to start the season, to let him learn on the sidelines until it was ready to say, you know what? It's going to be this week, this game. You will take over for the veteran quarterback who just started the season. That's what they should have done. And the thing is this. I understand that a rookie quarterback is going to take his lumps.
Yeah.
We all know this. A rookie quarterback in his first season in the National Football League is going to take his lumps, and he's going to have these types of games. But, this wasn't lumps. This was, watch, rinse, repeat. This was Groundhog Day. He has to understand, if you have a check down, or if at least you have a receiver open that's only 5-6 yards away, then you go for that receiver. You cannot go for the 15, 20-yard throw each and every time you're throwing the ball. You go for the checkdowns. Go for the boring plays. This is how you maintain drives.
You learned the hard way today.
Exactly.
He got his welcome to the NFL today, in this one today.
And I just want to say this. I just want to say this about a certain quarterback who got drafted first overall down in Jacksonville, and Trevor Lawrence. If the Jets did go 0-16 last year, and if they were going to draft Trevor Lawrence with the first overall pick, if they were able to get it, this is the same thing he would have faced this season. The point is this. Regardless of this coaching staff, who I think so far has changed the culture in this football team so far, now they got to get some wins. Now they got to have a winning season. That's going to come in time. Might not be this season. That's fine. With the talent that the Jets are lacking right now,
yeah,
Trevor Lawrence would have been destroyed in this game, and even in the first game against the Panthers.
Can I just say something?
Yes.
You bring up a very good point. None of the rookie quarterbacks today played well. Trevor Lawrence threw 2 picks against Denver. He has 5 picks on the season. Justin Fields, they won the game in Chicago when he came in, but he threw a bad pick that was almost a pick 6. The only reason they won the game was because he recovered his own fumble that would have been a scoop and score for the Bengals. He didn't play that great. And, of course, Zach Wilson with the picks. I mean, the one guy who had the best day was, of course, Mac Jones, and he really didn't have to do much because the defense did it for him for the Patriots. And that's why I thought he was in the best situation, because he was on a ready-made team that was loaded with a lot of good talent around him. And of course, you have Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniels. You're gonna have success.
Yep.
I think he's that great. No, I don't think he's
No.
that good. Didn't impress me that much in the last 2 weeks. But that's really the difference. I think what you also bring us up also goes to Sam Darnold, because we saw him in with this franchise for 3 years, and he was just struggled all the time. It was a 3-year struggle, and the Jets felt the need. Joe Douglas felt the need to go out and get his own guy. He wanted to rebrand because he, like a lot of general managers, are going to sit there and say, I want my own head coach, I want my own quarterback. The only way to sustain your job and success is to get your own coach and your own quarterback. That's what happens. And that's why he went out there and got Zach Wilson. Well, you see what happens when you have Sam Darnold go to Carolina with a team that's been drafting pretty well. It's been building the culture there for a couple of years. They have an all-star running back in Christian McCaffrey. They got an ex-Jet there in Robbie Anderson, but they have other guys there around him on both sides of the ball, better offensive line, and things are working out. Now, I'm not going to tell you that he's going to take the Panthers to the Super Bowl, but things are working out. He's managing the game well. Right now, the Jets are hit the reset button for the third time in the last 7 years. So it's like, here we go again. That's really the big difference.
Exactly. Look, he's drafted well. I'm not questioning his draft picks. He's doing well.
Well, I question this one. What's going on with Denzel Mims? That's what I want to know.
Well, that's what I was about to say too later on. I don't understand why Denzel Mims is not out there. I don't understand why the coaching staff is not allowing Denzel Mims, who was drafted by Joe Douglas. I don't understand why he wasn't used at all in this game, and only once in the last game.
There's something going on behind the scenes that we're not privy to.
Yeah.
Fans. I don't even know if the beat writers are privy to it too much either. But there's something going on that isn't good with Denzel Mims, and maybe it's that he's not, catching on to what the coaches want. Maybe he's not doing exactly the things they want, but something's going on back there. It's unfortunate because he's a talented player. He really is. But I would like him on the field a little more than we've seen him. Of course, we didn't see him at all here today. So here we go. The Jets now 0-2. They'll go into Denver next week. We're going to see more of the same. I mean, that's what it is. It's going to be like this all season. I think the only thing you can hope for is that Zach Wilson doesn't have another 4 interception game.
I'm not expecting Zach Wilson to have a game that Darnold did when he began his NFL career back in Detroit. Throw a pick 6 and then maul the Lions all game long. I'm not expecting that. Manage the game. Learn from your mistakes.
Well, the big plays will come when they're available. Apparently the Seattle-Tennessee game, there was that huge pass that Russell Wilson threw. Guy was wide open down the middle of the field. Those plays will be available over time, over the course of the game. I mean, he's got to learn that. He learned the hard way today. That's all I can tell you. That's it. It's going to be part of this development, unfortunately. Did you notice that Zach Wilson, when asked about the booing, he says, "I don't blame." He said he understood what the fans are trying to do there, and he didn't blame the fans for booing him. I guess Francisco Lindor and Javier Baez didn't get that memo. But anyway,
look, at least he knew what was going on, and he didn't shy away from it. So that's a good thing.
That is a good thing. And folks, that's going to do it here for our little review on the Jets. And Mr. Feuerstein, thank you so much for bringing humanity to our discussion.
Thank you. I try my best.
Remember, folks, follow us right here on the social media at UpMikeNJ on Twitter, Facebook.com, and also remember to like and subscribe right here to the Sports Talk Nation.